friendly tonight. That second quarter, 48 points
48
for the
points.
Sixers. I mean, no turnovers for them in that quarter. They had 16 free throws also in that quarter. What does that tell you? Lakers turning the ball over and then just fouling people. Reaching, not getting good position. Maybe a little tired the second night of a back-to-back. Maybe in that second quarter, trying to figure out, is AD coming back? What's going on with him? And now, Geet, all eyes do turn towards Anthony Davis. Maybe J.J. Redick has an update for us after the game, because those abdominal strains, they can last. This could be more than he's going to sit out the Washington game in a couple nights. Hopefully not. He's been really good the last couple of years, coming back quickly from injuries, but hate to see him leave in that first quarter.
Yeah, obviously the 48 are the most they've given up in a quarter this season. The 73 in that first half, the most they've given up this season. Byron, I'll start with you and Tyrese Maxey. What a great night for him. James called him, the catalyst, the guy that was kind of leading the charge, and absolutely right. Listen, he is a star in this league, and he saw his opportunity tonight.
He's just a phenomenal basketball player. And you could tell by just watching him and hearing some of the stories that he's a terrific kid. He's a great little leader as well. So you gotta feel happy for him in the way he played tonight. But again, he saw the opportunity of, look, we got two of our big guns out. I'm gonna take over, and that's exactly what he did from the start of this game. His motor was higher than everybody else, and he just went after guys from the get-go.
Yeah, and James, look, I mean, they have some good role players around them. He's trying to keep this team afloat because Paul George and Embiid have missed so many games this year. They're just 17 and 27. I think now they go to 18 and 27. They've won 3 in a row, but that's, Maxey's doing all he can to keep that team competitive. You cannot take this team lightly with him on the court.
Doing a good job, too. I mean, he got Counsell involved, Oubre, Gordon. But, Maxey, his energy, he had the highest plus minus on the team, plus 20. And this guy, he's right up there with the elites in his position and as a player in the league.
And he gives hope to guys and teams who are not drafted in the top 20. He was a 21st overall pick. You don't have to be a lottery pick to be like this.
That's right.
Jalen Brunson, who is starting for the East in the All-Star game, another talented point guard, another example of that. Right now, they're right on the cusp of being in that play-in game. They were 11th coming into today. Don't know if this pushes them up. Don't really study the Eastern Conference play-in standings, but bottom line, Geet, he's a really talented kid.
Guys, when you look at the turnovers in the last 2 nights, and I know, the result was a win in Charlotte, but you're looking over the last 24 hours, those are 41 turnovers combined, big game, James. So, listen, there's no more D-Los, so the ball handlers, it goes down to Austin and LeBron, so other guys have to take care of the basketball as well. And then you lose AD, no Gabe as well tonight, just a recipe for trouble.
For disaster, especially after last.
Frankly, you're not going to win a game if somebody takes 19 more shots than you and gets 8 more offensive rebounds. Like, we're throwing the ball everywhere. I think that is just, again, fatigue, mental and physical, just bad decision-making and, poor execution, very unorganized throughout the game.
Games in 4 nights, this does happen in the NBA, but you balance kind of frustration with understanding of that in these settings.
You have to look at the big picture. The big picture is we're heading in the right direction and missing a bunch of key players. So
prior to the time LeBron took some time away from the team, turnovers in high volume was kind of a recurring issue for him. Did you see anything tonight that was reminiscent of the same way he was getting those turnovers back then?
Yeah, certainly forced a couple. There was some Eric Gordon's strip on him in the post, like good individual defense. We actually, believe it or not, we actually defended well for the second half and the first 8 minutes of the game. It was that last 4-minute stretch in the 12 minutes of the second quarter where we were just terrible defensively, and obviously the turnovers hurt that. But when we actually found something good in the second half, and then we just didn't execute it. And 2 of those turnovers that he had were on those plays. I'm not sure why the ball was passed the way it was, or why Max rolled the way he did. I mean, it was a very easy 4-on-3 to create, and again, I attribute that to just a lot of fatigue.
JJ, you went to Bronnie in the first quarter instead of Shake or Cam. Why did you want to see a look at him there?
Yeah, just felt like on a back-to-back, just him giving us energy, I think, was the goal. I maybe put him in a tough spot, flying up yesterday and, nationally televised game and Philly, all that stuff. It's, he didn't play well, but he's been playing great, in the Stay Ready games, and he's been playing great in the G. So I have confidence in him, but obviously didn't provide that at a high level.
The other thing too, I think I'm looking at it right here. Dorian and Jackson, I think, had like 9 fouls in 36 minutes combined. How much of an issue was the fouling for you guys tonight?
Dorian's I know 3 of his 4 were because we couldn't contain the basketball and nobody was in a shift, and he just came over to try to save a basket. So, he didn't have a lot of juice tonight either. I mean, we were searching for juice. We couldn't find any. Everything was dry.
You also eventually went to Cam. What were you looking for with him? He hadn't played in a few games.
Yeah, just felt like potentially just slowing down Maxey. We tried, I think, 5 different adjustments on him, none of which worked very well.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
LeBron finished with 31 points in the loss. Let's go inside the Laker locker room. He's with Mike. Case for AD as the best defensive player in the world. Pyro. If we're going to can I put a positive spin on this?
Listen, AD, as we all know,
continue to beat this drum until someone listens to me.
As we all know in this room, he's one of the best defensive players in this game. And he covers up so many flaws that you might have as individual defenders on a basketball team. And that's why he's so great, because you can funnel guys towards him knowing that he's here that he's there to protect you.
Yeah.
So when if you'd have told me, look, we had 41 turnovers the last 2 games, you're lucky to be 1-1 in those games, because normally when you have that many turnovers in 2 games, you don't win games with that many turnovers. So, you had to have an extraordinary night by AD the other night for 40-20, just to win that game. So this is a trend in the last 2 games that obviously the Lakers have to take care of.
So I want to ask you this, because, you look at that Boston game, the Lakers, I thought it was their best game of the year. Then Warriors was an incredible game. And then that first quarter of Charlotte, and they looked so good. They built up a, 33-9 lead. From that moment, kind of the foot went off the gas a little bit. And listen, they're also human, so it's not always easy to get up on a Monday night or a Tuesday night when you're on the road during the middle of a road trip, but those are just excuses, right? What have you seen kind of in these last 6 quarters or so? That's, they were minus 38 one time you put some of those quarters together.
Yeah, I think just what you said. I think what you said, Gid, you take the foot off the pedal, you get complacent, and all of a sudden it starts to develop in a negative way. So now it's going the other way. You've played, 10 great quarters. When you look at Boston, Golden State in the first half, you played 10 great quarters, and then all of a sudden you get a little complacent because you think, oh, man, we got it. It's just like golf. You hit a few good shots, and all of a sudden you think you hit one bad one.
Big game knows what you're talking about.
you hit one bad one, it's like that snowball effect. So, again, they just got to go back to just refocusing on all the good things that they were able to do in those 2 games and just get back to it. And again, the fundamentals of basketball is not very hard. Taking care of the basketball is not very hard. Being flipped with the basketball is, because when you start just throwing it all over the place, you start giving up layups and easy buckets to other teams.
NBA is just part of the game. You got another game a couple nights later. Golf, big game knows. I just get in the cart, go to my car, and drive
Forget
off.
about that last shot.
Quit, 4 holes to go.
A couple of drinks, though. You can drink in golf. Can't drink in this game.
You get a worthy splash and you're back. And you're back. I believe B. Moore said we got J.J. Redick talking to the media.
Yeah, JJ, anything further on Anthony Davis at this point?
No. No.
You were up, I think, 2017 when he left. What did you see from that point on to the game?
The second quarter. Look, 3 and 4 nights back to back. I'm not sure where our sort of collective brains were at. I understand the physical fatigue. We were a step slow all night on Maxey, particularly in that quarter. Talked pregame about having a compact shell. we were hugged up on our guys, not just on Maxey, on everyone. Talked about the guys that were heavy shift guys that we could be in a help position off of, and just it's just get to the basket, get to the basket, get to the basket, get to the basket. And then,
not a medical opinion. We'll see if AD needs to go in for an MRI maybe tomorrow.
You didn't text your dad? I mean, he's a doctor.
Yeah, Dad, what's the problem? 1 to 2 weeks, 2 to 4.
That was more of a heart guy.
Yeah, it's hard, but it's close, right? But here's what the Lakers have to do. They play Washington in 2 days. It's the worst team in the league. They're 6-39. They've lost 14 in a row, including to the Lakers last week by 23 points. So maybe you try to skip that game and get AD ready for the weekend game against the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. Again, without knowing how bad of a strain it is. I think LeBron would have been a little bit more nervous. He didn't seem real nervous, though.
Yeah, I don't know, Brez. I've had an abdominal pull, and you're right. It could be to the point where it's very concerning or not that concerning. But I tell you what, you can just turn wrong. And that thing can go from, 0 to 10 very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It could be, like you said, where this weekend he's playing, or it could be he misses his whole trip and not playing. So it's going to be, interesting to see tomorrow because, again, tomorrow is going to really kind of dictate what happens because you still have that adrenaline going right now, so you don't really know how bad it is until tomorrow morning when he wakes up. And I know we're all hoping and praying that it's not that bad and that he's, can miss the Washington game and get ready for the weekend.
And I know without him, they're going to have to figure out how to collectively get some things done. Obviously, you can't turn it over. You're going to have to collectively, rebound the basketball. That includes some guards getting back in there, getting some of those longer rebounds. Rui, guys like that, Hayes, Koloko, as he plays, they're going to have a special emphasis on just rebounding the basketball and making sure that they, get possession and don't give up second possessions. That's going to be a big key if AD is not available.
I also think there's this hold your breath when AD gets hurt because we've seen in the past what then that puts on LeBron James, right? And we are just past the halfway point of this season because he's that guy that's going to go and he's going to play 40 minutes, he's going to try to get you the win, and that's where you hope that the depth can come into play here.
Yeah, but that's the thing you don't want is to have to put all of it on LeBron.
Yeah.
Again, we have to understand and realize he is 40 years old. We know he's in phenomenal shape, and he's been doing this for a long time at a very high level. But the one thing you want to do is take stuff off his plate, not add to it.
Yeah.
Because of his age right now. And AD's the one that's taking it off his plate. He is the focal point of this offense right now. So, again, you hold your breath because he's so vital to this team's success. And again, you don't want to put all that on LeBron's plate again. But we do know that he's been able to carry it too. We do know that as well. But you want AD to come back healthy as soon as possible so they can get to playing basketball the way they have been playing the last 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, keep in mind, Lakers, a couple guys did not play tonight. Jared Vanderbilt, injury maintenance. He's only played 2 games since missing basically a whole year.
Good having him back.
Yeah, hopefully have him back. And Gabe Vincent, this is the second game. He banged knees a couple games ago. If they get those 2 guys back, feel a little bit better about going into D.C. without AD. Not saying they are AD,